Hi, good evening, all. This is Sakshi this side once again from Ask IITians. So today, this time, I'm here with you people in order to tell you 7 effective time management tips which are very, very effective and which will help you out when you have to crack IIT JEE 2017. So these are like some masaledar tips which I'm going to tell you. So let us start with our first tip. So in this first tip, what I can tell you here is that many people I have seen that they keep on complaining about that, yeah, I just have 24 hours a day, and it's so bad a thing that what will I do in 24 hours a day? I have to have my lunch, I have to have my dinner, and I have to do so many things, so I'm not able to find time to study. So this is the major complaint which many of you people have when it comes to using the how to manage your time. So what I'll tell you here is you need to start using the interstices of your life. Now many of you will be thinking, what do we exactly mean by interstices? You must have seen, like when I'm asking you to, this is your hand and I'm asking you to close it to form your fist. Then you feel like there is no space, nothing can come into this fist. But if you actually go and visualize, you still have some space even if you close your hand. This space is known as interstices. And the same thing you can do when it comes to your life also. People have a habit of saying, I don't know how to use my time. So what best you can use is like when you are going to school, you still have some time, you still have got some free periods in your school, wherein you can start utilizing your time and thus you can study in that particular time. One more thing which I used to do when I was a child was I used to make some play cards. So when you make some play cards, they will be always ready. So whenever you get time, like before lunch, if you are like, okay, I can revise one equation. So just look at that play card, the equation will be written over here and you can revise it. That means by this way, what you can do is to use interstices of your life. Also, this so-called uncountable time, you need to take care of this unaccountable time. Many people say that, oh, I'm so tired, I just cannot work now because it's so tiring. But what you have to do is, within that uncountable time, you need to make best possible use. So this is our first effective way in order to use the interstices of your life. Coming over to another point which somehow is related to how you are going to set targets. Like I'll show you a picture in the screen and you will find that. See, here you can see that when Aamir Khan for his upcoming movie, you can see he has got so much of weight and then he got reduced the weight. That means when he can do this, you can also do this. That's not a big deal. So what you need to do is to set your targets. Once the targets will be set, you have to be very firm over accomplishing the task which you have set in the morning. That means, suppose if you wake up early in the morning and you think that I have to complete, let's say, 1 chapter of physics, 1 chemistry and 1 maths. So by the end of the day, when you go to sleep, you have to make sure that anyhow or the other, you do whatever possible, but you have to accomplish those tasks. You have to get to your target. So the first thing which will help you out in managing time is to first of all set the target. Once the target will be set, you have to accomplish it in such a way that when you go to sleep, you will be like, oh my God, now I can have a relaxed sleep. Thus, the specific targets, the specific chapters you need to set for physics, for chemistry and maths. And once the specific targets will be set, you can simply work on and thus you can move on. And this will be very effective when it comes to time management. Coming over to a third tip which I'm going to tell you here is how you are going to follow a regular prescription. Okay, I'll tell you a story here. Like whenever you are not well, whenever you are ill and you go to a doctor, he'll prescribe this thing to you. You have this medicine early morning, you have this medicine late in the afternoon, then this medicine when you have your dinner. So he'll give you a regular prescription that this is all what you have to follow in order to be healthy as soon as possible. So the same kind of prescription now you are going to follow when it comes to your exams. So when you are preparing, when you have this time management stuff, what you can do? I'll tell you, many students I have seen and they'll be like, ma'am, we just cannot do inorganic. Many will be like, ma'am, there are certain chapters in maths whose equations are so damn tough that we can't even we just can't even bother about them. We just can't even think how to learn or how to memorize those equations. So what you can do? Suppose you feel like there are 8 equations and they are way too difficult to learn, way too difficult to memorize. What best you can do? So when you wake up in the morning and you are going to have your breakfast, so just before the breakfast, read 1 equation or learn 1 equation. That means you don't have to consider about other 7 equations. It's all about the single equation. So learn that equation and let it go aside. Have your breakfast, be cool, be happy, be chill out. After your breakfast, when you are going to do other work, just learn 1 more equation. So don't consider anything about the first equation that you learned or about the remaining 6 equations. What you need to do is to just take care of the second equation. Learn it and let it go. So that's it. Now you keep on doing other work. Now when it comes the time for lunch, just before lunch, choose 1 play card, learn the equation and you'll be done. Similarly, after lunch, you can choose 1 play card, learn the equation and thus again you'll be done. So what you can do is before dinner, before snacks also, before dinner also, and after snacks, after dinner also, you can do all these things. So make sure that number of times which you are going to have some meal, just before that meal and after that meal, you are going to take 2-3 equations and you are just going to learn them and let them go aside. So if daily you are going to follow this practice, let's say within a week, you will be having almost 60 to 70 equations that will be done. And you don't even realize that you have spent that much time. Because when I'm asking you to do just 1 equation, you'll be chill out and you'll be relaxed. Okay, we can do that. The same thing goes for inorganic chemistry. The same thing goes for some mathematical formulas also. So going to this prescription method, it genuinely helps you out when it comes to very, very difficult portion of the theory. So you can do this. Moreover, once suppose you feel like there is a chapter which is way too tough for you and you don't want to do that chapter. That also you can do like this. Just mark 15 questions for let's say 2 days. Do 1 question before lunch, 1 question after lunch, 1 question before dinner, 1 question after dinner. So by this, you will be able to wind up with all the 15 questions and you don't even feel like you did so much of work. So this is literally a very effective way. Students, I have used all these things and that is what I'm going to tell you now. So when I was your age, I used to follow all these things. So what now I'm doing is I'm just recalling what I used to do and I'm speaking it in front of you. So when I can do this, for sure you people can also take some of these steps and thus these will help you out. One more thing I must have told you in my last webinar also, and this is like many people say that IIT is just for nerds. So my dear students, to be honest, IIT is not at all for nerdy people. You need to be all-rounder. Suppose you like doing Facebooking, you like doing WhatsApping and all. Do them. It's okay. It's not a big deal. When you are studying and let's say you are going to take a break for 10 minutes and you use your phone and saw something on FB, that is cool enough. That's not a point that, oh my God, I wasted a lot of time. You can do everything. You need to follow your hobby each and every day. You like painting? No issues. Start making a painting. That's okay. One more thing you can do is you set a target. Okay, I'm going to watch a movie in these 3 days. Watch just 15 minutes movie. Take a break, watch 15 minutes movie. Set your targets for another 3 hours. After those 3 hours, take a break again and watch another movie. Set the target, watch the movie. So this is all. You just need to be cool. You just need to be relaxed. But then you have to utilize your time. The only thing which is the most important thing here is you need to be sure of wherever you are using your time. Suppose you have taken 15 minutes for FB, then you need to be sure not the 16th minute is to be given to FB. You have to come back, you have to start studying once again. So these so-called, let's say, leisure time activities, these are affordable once you are very sure of what all are you gonna do. Now once we have done this thing of step number 4, let me now come over to step number 5. And this step number 5 is something related to you have to learn new things and you have to revise the old things also. Being a teacher, how I start my classes daily is like I'll give them a question, okay, you do this question. That means you have to literally revise what all you did the previous day. Suppose, let's say today is December 3 and I'm doing something. So I did one chapter of physics, I did one of chemistry and one of maths. So once I'm done with the chapters, and yesterday, let's suppose, I did half a chapter of physics, one chapter of chemistry and half a chapter of maths. I'll give more weightage to chemistry since I'm a chemistry tutor. So, okay. Now, having completed my today's target, and when I'm just like very sleepy, I feel like going to sleep and all. So what I'll do is, for last half an hour, I'll just take a notebook and I'll go through the pages like this. This is the best thing which we love. Before starting a new chapter, we always do this. That means we always so I just want to brush up what I have learned yesterday. What you can do is simply, what do we say? Browsing. So simply you have to go through the pages and you have to find out what actually have you done. So that this way daily you will be learning something new and daily you have to revise what you did the previous days. If you do not revise the stuff, then you will be in a problem because the new stuff will be piled up like anything and the previous one will be going to hell like anything. So it's better that we need to avoid the stuff going to hell. Please do not do this thing that you are learning new things and you are forgetting the old ones. So what we can do is, you simply can learn the new, but yes, you need to revise the old stuff also. Now, once we have come over to the revision of the old stuff and we started for so much time and we were like, wow, we have done so much this time. Now what you need to do? You need to first of all analyze your targets. So the way I told you, last half an hour you have to do the revision of whatever you learned yesterday. So this half an hour you have to analyze where you were wrong. For example, let's say you did some physics question and you were like not clear with one of the concept. Or let me say you did some chemistry question. And let's say you were not very clear with the chemistry concept also. So at the end of the day, you need to analyze where you were wrong. You need to try finding out what were your weaker areas. So that when it comes over to the next day, you have to be sure what not you have to do. That means you have to avoid repeating the same mistakes. Someone said it very nicely that our life is not too long that we can commit our own mistakes and learn from them. So if you did something the previous day, do not repeat it the next day. You are not a fool. You are self-intelligent. You can use your intelligence to do this. So do analyze your efforts. You know, right? Many students complain, why the hell school gives us marks or something? Why are we given any grades? This is because until and unless they will analyze you, you will not improve. So the only basic thing which helps in the improvement is the analysis. You need to analyze what all you did in a proper way, what all needs improvement. Until and unless you analyze, you are not going to get succeeded. So these were the 6 steps that I told you. They may be very effective when it comes over to managing the time. Since students, it's like 3 to 4 months which are left, you need to have a very, very good regular schedule. So don't do it like daily you are starting with a new schedule and something like that and you will end up with this. But next day you will sleep the entire day thinking that, oh no, I couldn't do anything the earlier day, so why should I start doing it now? For those people who have this thing in their mind, I like to give you one quote. And this quote goes like that. If you think that plan A couldn't be worked out in one day, yeah, there are 25 more letters in the alphabet series. So when plan A couldn't work out, there are plan B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. So there are so many plans which you can follow and they'll genuinely work out. That means at the end, you have to be persistent. Do not do it like, shit, I couldn't do it one day, so why will I do it the next day? So you have to be persistent. You have to have faith. You have to be regular. So people say that this is not a time-effective technique, but yes, it is. Until and unless you have a positive attitude, you will not do anything good in life. People with negative attitudes, they never have done anything and they are not going to do anything in their lives. So what you have to do is to have this attitude of never giving up. You just need to move on, move on, move on. Yeah, aajkal there are songs also, move on, move on. So why can't you people move on again and again? Even if you fall, you have to stand and move on. So make another plan B for the next day and keep on moving. So students, these were some 7 small tips that I told you that were very effective when I was working as a student. Now since I am a tutor, so I found this thing to be literally helpful, and that is why I'm thinking of sharing all these things with you. And once we are done with all these tips, I'll tell you one simple quote which I feel like wow. We say that कहीं पे पहुंचने के लिए कहीं से निकलना बहुत ज़रूरी होता है. तो अगर you people have this stupidest complaint that we want to go to IIT, but why do we need to struggle a lot? Why is there this necessity to struggle, and then only you will be able to go to IIT? So students, this is what यार दीपिका ने बोल दिया, रणबीर ने बोल दिया कि कहीं जाने के लिए कहीं से तो निकलना पड़ेगा ना, तो थोड़ा सा काम करो. It's hardly for 3-4 months. And once you'll struggle hard for these 3-4 months, this is gonna be very, very, very effective for you people, and you will be literally getting success in your life. So with all these things, at last I'll just say that for following all these 7 tips, we are always there with you. At any point of time you feel like you need some help, you need some assistance, please do call us. Please try to log on to this page, so that once you log on to this page, you call us and we'll always be there for your help. So if you have any problems related to counseling, problem related to syllabus, problem related to what is to be done, what not is to be done, please do not hesitate calling us and signing on the site, so that we are always available with you people. So with this note,